Hey everybody, welcome back. It's William from Michelle Team at Woodley Guitars, and we're going to do some ambering, amber dyes on this particular neck. This one here has already been addressed, has the amber already applied to it. It's ready for the clear coat. This one, I wanted to show you, once I move the camera, just how lovely this flame maple starts to come alive when we add the amber, which will only be enhanced once we work with adding the clear. And I'm using this Anthem product from Wood Essence out of Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. And it's a brand new product, and I've been testing it on a body, and I have these two necks. I thought, well, let's do the necks as well. They got to be done anyways. And I do about a heavy 5% reduction retarder on it, and the flow out on the body is absolutely amazing. I've done a little bit of test sanding with it with these 3-inch Mirka discs, and I have to say it powders up really nicely, and it actually is a nice hard finish. So, and that's not even a full cure. So I'm really curious to see how well it performs, especially on the neck. There's so much going on, you know, as a player, your hands are here constantly, obviously. And so, you know, it'll be really interesting to see how it handles it over time. So anyways, I just thought I'd let you know that's what we're doing. Oh, and we're using the water-based, the Color Efex Amber, and I just do it to the color I want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch the camera so you can see what's going on. And what I normally do is I will hit it once and let it dry, and I'll likely sand it back a bit because it will raise the grain a little. And then when I hit the neck again with the amber, that's going to really start to enhance the figure in the wood. Typically, I don't have to do it with this regular maple. This is just, it's slightly, it's rip cut, not quite quarter cut. And it's just a hard maple, and it doesn't have any enhanced figuring, so I don't really bother with it. But when we get into this beautiful kind of material, you want to really let that stuff show up, and that's one of the processes I do. So I'm going to switch the camera, and you can watch the process. Okay, so I used fairly warm water to dissolve the liquid amber dye. I'm not using a powder, and hopefully you can see it all right. And we'll just start applying our dye. As you can see, even with this initial hit, we have some pretty amazing figure going on. Once you get about 4 coats of finish on that, or clear on this, it's going to look so stunning, and the 3D effect in it will be quite amazing. And you can enhance that by doing a dark dye, sanding it back so that the looser grain accepts the darker dye, and then the tighter grain, you're sanding it out. And then what happens is when you apply your secondary color, if you're doing like a black and then you go to doing, let's say, a yellow, you're going to have such a beautifully enhanced piece of lumber. Oops. Sorry about that. So already we can see that this is a gorgeous piece of wood. And I'm just going to keep going with it. And I'm not too concerned about the side edges of the fingerboard. It's basically done. You'll never notice that. And it just darkens it up a little bit, but you would never see that. I used to do this without wearing gloves, and I have to tell you, I would always have like smoker hands, smoker fingers. Now, the curious thing about this piece of maple is there was a little bit of wormholes action going on, and which doesn't bother me. It's still a stable piece of material, and I'm not too concerned about, you know, it continuing to deteriorate. This is a really hard piece of maple. I'm just going to stop there and just give you a bit of a look at that. You can see how wonderful that is. You can see how that 3D effect already has begun to show itself. And if you're curious, these are medium frets with a 9.5 radius. And I need to get into this area here yet, but I'll just get a Q-tip and do that. But this is basically it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let it dry. I'll sand it back, and I'll bring the camera back in, and then we'll see how that looks, and it'll just enhance it even more. It already looks fantastic, and I'm quite happy about that. Okay, so we are back again, and I have sanded it back, and you can still see how there is that nice 3D effect. Now we're going to apply the second hit of amber, and we're just going to pull that up a little bit more. You can see how that is. You see the difference right there. And it's pretty subtle. I took it back quite a bit, but there was still a little bit of amber in the rough grain, the more open grain of the maple. And we still have a really beautiful effect with the 3D here. It's pretty cool when you get to work with wood like this and make an instrument, and you can get creative. There's like I said, there's a couple of little wormholes right in here and right along here, but they're nothing to be concerned about. They're in an area that aren't affecting tone or affecting stability. So look at that. That looks so good. And we haven't even applied the the clear yet. So I got my little use that to get into these little spots here. Just brush that away. And we have ourselves a lovely flame maple neck. And of course, when it dries light, but when you hit the clear back on, it'll come back. Quite happy with that. So as you can see, a successful amber session. So from here, tomorrow, I will begin clear coating these necks, and we'll show you the process as we continue on with the body and the neck itself. And then we'll be on to all the other fun stuff, like making pick guards and wiring and fret leveling and buffing and sanding and all that fun stuff, which I will document, of course, because I'm using all Wood Essence supplied products. I'm using their Anthem Finish, Clear Finish. I'm using their Mixol supplied dyes and the Color Effects dyes and Mixol pigments for all of my builds. And they're a great supplier. And if you are looking for anything in the guitar or high-end finishing or furniture finishing, then you should really check them out. I like it because they're a Canadian company, and I like to source as much Canadian content for my guitar building as possible, and really appreciate what they're doing. Okay, I'm going to stop talking, and we are done.